All right, here we go. I'm hoping this is working. All right, if it's not working, we're going to do it anyway, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm Amy Bowker, and I am the owner of amybowker.com and the community lead, I guess, for Resilient Rebels, which is a community that I'm making about educators. And it's basically a community for supporting educators to promote resilience, because that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about being resilient, because our job as educators is we have to be on our A game at all times. Being innovative, we're going to be talking about that in the next month. Collaborative, and being advocates, because we are advocates, of course, for our students, but we need to start being more of an advocate for ourselves and for our education as a whole. So we're going to be learning about that together. So all you need tonight, if you want to follow along or whenever you're following, is you need some colorful markers, and you need to print this guy out. So this is Unlocking Wellness, Exploring 8 Essential Types of Self-Care for Teachers. Who knew there was 8 types? I did not know. I swear I did not know. So I've learned a lot from making this, and I'm really excited to share what I've learned with all of you. Before we start, I just really want to talk about resilience. And I have a video on my YouTube channel about resilience and what we think resilience is. But I think we all know as educators that it used to be, we had a hard moment, or we had a hard behavior once in a while. But as we all are finding more and more often, that we are having more and more. And it really is becoming overwhelming. And it is, I don't know, I've heard educators say that it's different kinds of kids and how they're very different now, but they are needier. They don't have as much self-regulation, and they really need a lot of guidance. And that's what we have to face every day. But also we need to be resilient, because we have to be ready for those challenges, because we know that our kids are going to be challenging and are going to need that support. And I think when we think of resilience, we think of, a failed lesson or whatever. For me, that doesn't bother me, because I fail a lot. I spell words wrong a lot. And I'm fine with that. And I love when my kids point it out to me. I don't even pretend that it was a mistake for them to catch. I'm just like, thank you. But I think we really need to take care of ourselves first, because these challenges are just getting more and more extreme with our students and with our population. And we really need to fill up our glass first. We need to focus on ourselves more than ever, because the challenges are so demanding in our profession right now. So, hopefully you have printed this out with me. If you have not, and you are watching this not live, you can pause it and print it out quickly. My little cute face pouring love on myself. All right, so let's just start diving in, because I hate wasting time. And I know that we are all busy, and if you are watching this, you just want to get to it. So let's do it. Okay, so the first page is basically, we're just going to fly through the first part, because we're going to go through it more in depth. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 8 different types of self-care. And then with each one, I've provided a big list of activities or ideas about how you can get that type of self-care. So, excuse me. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. And if you'd like, you can highlight or you can check beside something that you are like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that, or I really need to do that. And so we'll have some ideas by when we get to the end. There's a calendar that we can go through and we can sort of color coordinate our goals. So let's go through it. We'll go through it quickly, just the first little bit, because it gives you a little spiel about the 8 different types. So I'm just going to quickly read those off, because we, of course, know that we're supposed to take care of our bodies. We're supposed to take care of our emotions, taking care and breathing and meditating and all that stuff. But some that we don't think about is social self-care. And I think it's really important. And this is sort of my point with Resilient Rebels, is we are in a classroom alone with 30 some kids every day. And we need that community to talk to and know that we are not alone, and know that we are not bad educators. Like, we're not terrible teachers. We are humans that are dealing with a really challenging profession. And it's honestly just getting harder and harder, as we all know. But we really need that school community. We really need that teacher community to let you know that you're not alone in this, because you are not alone with how you're feeling. Yeah. I'm with you for sure. We need some intellectual self-care. So, being inspired, reading a really good book, attending a really good PD, a workshop, thinking about a new strategy, trying a new tool, whatever that might be. I find that when I find something new, I get a little nerdy, giggly about it. So that's just me, maybe. We need some spiritual self-care. And if you are religious or not religious, it doesn't really matter. It's just about finding peace and reflection during school life. And that could be meditation, that could be just gratitude, that could be nature for you. It all depends on what that means to you. And there are some really good suggestions. Professional self-care. So we really need to come up with some boundaries, and we're going to be talking about that next week. So coming up with some boundaries between us and our jobs, and having really strict boundaries so that we know, what I've done at work today is enough, and I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to go home and be with my family, or I'm going to chill. I'm going to get some good food or whatever. Environmental self-care has been a big one for me this year. With the noise and the amount of kids not being self-regulated, I'm finding that the noise is really, really affecting me this year, and it's really overwhelming. So doing things like decluttering our desk, noise canceling headphones, having like calm spots for your kids to go and chill is really, really great for all of us. And the last one, which we don't think about a lot, is financial self-care. So thinking about a budget, taking care of our finances, saving for really important purchases or trips. Honestly, last year, I booked a ton of trips, like little day trips or little like getaways. And for me, that was just something to look forward to. And I always had a trip coming up. So I always had something to look forward to. And I really needed something like that. Okay, so let's dive into physical self-care. So this is the first page, and these are all of the different ideas. So you will see that each of the different self-cares are color-coded. So that's for our calendar later on. If you don't like my color choices, that's fine. You can change it. But I thought about it, and I thought physical is blood. That's maybe too much. So I did it red, but it's up to you. So some physical self-care options: take some short walks during breaks if you can get away, desk yoga, stretching. I've actually started doing yoga with my students, And one, it's hilarious. And two, it's just actually been, while the first time is just like massive giggling and they're super uncomfortable, it goes into actually some of them like doing so amazingly good. So it's been really, really great to do sort of together. So packing really good snacks or meals. Meal prepping for me has been a really big one. Because then I don't have to think about it in the morning, right? Like I'm just gonna eat well because I've already packed it, and I'm way too lazy to go out and get something unhealthy. Keeping a water bottle filled, bedtime routine. So what I want you to do is I just want you to take a couple seconds and highlight the ones that you really like. So I'm going to do that too quick. Okay, so let's move on to emotional self-care. So some ideas for emotional self-care are a gratitude journal. I've actually started that with my students. So they have a daily check-in every day. At the end of the day, we do a gratitude, what they were grateful for that day. And I'm trying to get them to go like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I also have a teacher journal that I've been using this year, and it helps me at the end of the day as well. I do the daily check-in with my students as well because I like to show them that I'm doing it as well. But the daily check-in as a teacher, it prompts me to have something I'm grateful for, or like some really good thing that happened that day, so that I can reflect back and be like, okay, that was a positive, and I can leave on that positive note. So gratitude journal, mindfulness or meditation, also great to do with your class. Booked check-ins with a trusted colleague or mentor. So trusted is key. We know that sometimes the gossip of schools go round and round, so we really need to be careful with who we trust. But finding somebody that you can really trust and be your person was really life-changing for me as a teacher. So trying to find that person, or even just trying to seek out somebody. So like this year, my people left. So trying to find new people that you can be like, hey, you look like you're having a hard time. I am too. Can we go out for drinks and talk sometime? So I also mentioned the self-care journal. So prioritizing your well-being. We have to start doing this. I'm really trying to exercise every day, to take care of myself more, because if I don't, I really feel the effects of not taking care of myself. So journaling at the beginning of the end of the day, that could be at home, that could be at the end of your work day, just to get out those negative emotions if you're having them. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I feel overwhelmed a lot. So just trying to get those emotions out so that you don't have to carry them home with you. So just take a second, circle some that you like, or if you have others, you can definitely add it. I really like the journaling one, even if it's like a daily what I have to do today list. And then at the end of the day, like reflecting on that. That's what my teacher check-in is about. And it's really, really been helpful for me. Okay, moving on to social self-care. Orange. So weekly coffee dates or lunch dates with other teachers that you enjoy to hang out with. And we need to make sure that they're the teachers that lift you up, right? We got to be careful with our energy. So lift, like, who give you energy rather than suck your energy out. So make sure that you are taking care of those, or hanging out with those people. A teacher support group or online community such as Resilient Rebels, I would highly recommend. Volunteering for stuff at school that gives you energy, that gives you joy. I think a lot of the time we keep on saying yes to things that we don't really want to do, but it's okay to say yes to something if it gives you joy, if you're excited about it, right? I started a little library, a little free library in my school, which is like so fun. And I had to go pick up some books, and we have a bookcase, and just, I love reading and I love pushing books on kids. So that's really fun for me, and it's not actually that much work. So think about something that you would love, something that you love to do maybe personally and can teach kids about it, and you can start a club that way, or don't. No is fine too. Yeah, start hanging out with friends after school. Have some game nights to build some community. Yeah, so just take a second and circle which ones you like. I would suggest Resilient Rebels for sure, but that's just me. I know one of my teacher friends and I used to have a weekly coffee date. Was definitely sometimes more than weekly, but we always had a standing set coffee date that we would walk to the local coffee shop, buy a coffee, and walk back. And so it was like good physical exercise, social connection, and caffeine, which kept us going. Okay, moving on to intellectual, which is pink, because our brains are pink. I think they're pink. Anyway, so reading educational books or articles about best practices or something that you're into, taking online courses or webinars. There's so many awesome free PDs now. Pop PD is one. There's so much stuff about like ADHD on Coursera, or honestly any subject. If you literally Google free webinar or free workshop, there's so many. So definitely try and think about what you're interested in learning about. Yeah, get out of teaching. Like, I think we obsess about teaching a lot, and we really sometimes just need to take a break, as my husband has been telling me. So I need, like, I've been trying to sew lately. I haven't actually done it, but I bought 2 books. But just for us to have something that we love to do that's not related to teaching, I think is really, really important. Book clubs. I love book clubs. I'm thinking of starting one with Resilient Rebels. If you are interested, if you want to share some resilient themed book club books, I would love, love, love to know. Yeah, I think setting goals too about what we want to learn about is really important and propels us to learn more about what we want to learn about, but sometimes we just need a break. And I think that's totally fine if you're just, surviving, and that's okay too. Yeah, so just take a second and circle some that look good to you. We're going to be talking about some innovative curriculum or strategies, which is the last one, coming up next month. So different kinds of teaching and like how to use AI tools and stuff like that. So that might be something that you want to look into. All right, spiritual self-care is purple. So starting each day with an intention setting. I love that. So that sounds very like, but I just think of it like, who do I want to be today as a teacher? I want to be calm. I want to be kind. I want to be, I'm trying to censor what I want to say. Give them a kick in the bum, when they need it. So that's the kind of teacher I want to be. So if I need to focus on that before and get my emotions in check before I get there. Spending time in nature is so good for us. So that's something I love to do as well. Yeah, if you are religious, attending religious services or connecting with people that um, hold your beliefs and just having those sort of big talks about religion can be really great. I love the idea of having a gratitude jar in your classroom. Awesome. So circle some that speak to you. Okay, professional is yellow. So setting boundaries, we are going to do a whole thing. I have a freebie next week all about what I call edu boundaries. So if you're really stuck, because I did not grow up with boundary talk. I didn't. I'm sure most of us did not. I did not even know what that meant. So I've really been doing like a deep dive about it, and I've set some. I think I'm pretty good at maintaining my boundaries. You know, I'm not perfect. One of them was like to not have work email on my phone. I haven't downloaded the app, but it is like in my tabs on my Chrome, but I rarely check it. I don't really check it at all. So that's not true. I do check it, but like rarely, rarely, rarely. So it's not just like a daily thing that I'm doing. So anyway, if you need some help with some boundary work next week, we're going to be really focusing on that. So come back and we will talk about that for sure. I also have a really good free product if you are looking for it. It's called Startup and Shutdown Routine. So how to start our day really well as teachers and how to shut it down so that you can leave and know that everything is done. So if you're interested in that, if your mornings or after schools are bananas, check that out because it has a really good list and you sort of can create your own routine. I think it's really important to take regular breaks. I find that really hard because there's always so much to do. But to actually step away from the computer and eat your lunch or bring in a book that you're reading and just zone out. Sometimes we have beanbags and pillows in my classroom. And sometimes I just literally lie down and I'll put my big headphones on and listen to like calm vibes and just like completely zone out. So that sometimes we need that too, right? Okay, we're coming to the end. So environmental self-care, light blue. So soft lighting, comfortable seating. I love that. I find that every time I do that, though, the kids break stuff and are not respectful with it, even with training. So I have a really hard time with that, but I do have pillows. I do like the lights off. Again, I have those massive headphones, which I adore. If you are struggling with digital files, like your Google Drive is a disaster, which mine is right now because we get stressed and we just dump stuff, I have a free sort of template that you can go, and it's completely free, and it will help you sort of organize all your stuff. So I'm going to circle that because I need to do that for sure. Yeah, so maybe you want to get some plants for your classroom. Yeah, I think it's really important. The last one, advocate for a clean and safe learning environment within your school community. I think we all know that the violence is up there in classrooms, and it's really important that we all feel safe. So I think that's really important to advocate for as well if you're dealing with that. Okay, last but not least, financial self-care is green because money. Money, money, money. I messed up the song. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so I want you just to go through this and look at some. So this is totally like finances are very personal and people get touchy about about finances. Can you tell I work today and I'm tired? So budgeting, coming up with some goals, setting some goals for vacations or things you want to buy, looking for grants maybe for your classroom or taking a course about how to write grants. That would be really beneficial for me. Even just taking a course or getting some books about that. So just take a second and circle some that you think would be good for you. All right. Okay, so we did all the hard work. We sort of decided all of our 8 different kinds of self-care. And hopefully I'm not alone in not knowing that there were 8, because who knew? All right, so I'm just sort of organizing myself for a second. Okay, so we have this month calendar. It's cute, right? And at the bottom here, it has all of the different types color-coded, right? So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to go through my month, and I'm going to, February is almost done, so I'm going to just pretend we're getting into March, which we are, and I'm going to schedule it for March. I don't have my calendar. 1 second. When does March start? If I could see my calendar, that would be helpful. Okay, so March starts on the Friday, and it goes to the 31st. Okay, so coming back to you. So I'm just going to number my days of March. And we educators need to remember we got March break in there, right? So we're going to get a lot of good self-care in that week off. We can sort of really prioritize ourselves then. Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay, so I've numbered my calendar super quickly. She's not pretty, but that's okay. And I'm going to go through all of my things that I circled and sort of try and schedule them out. So maybe it would be great to take a short walk every single day at school, but maybe that's just like too much for right now. So maybe I could say, think of your schedule and when you don't have duties or whatever, whenever you can get away. So I'm going to say on Thursdays, I'm going to go for my short walks. So I'm not going to do that on March break. Okay. And then I'm going to, hopefully I have red. I don't, of course. Do I have a red hidden somewhere over here? Like a million markers, but of course not the color I need. Come on, red. Does anyone else have a marker hoarding problem? Okay, we're going to go with dark pink because it is. So I'm going to, because it's red and it's physical, I'm going to sort of outline them in red. Okay, water bottle, that is a daily thing that I'm trying to do, and exercising, I'm just trying to do that every single day. So I'm going to go on to the next one. So for emotional, I try and do my gratitude journal every single day with my students. So that's dark blue. Schedule regular check-ins with a trusted colleague or mentor. So I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about that, and maybe it's always going to be Thursday. On Fridays, I'm going to post on the Brazilian Rebel community a check-in for the week. Because I think that we all need that support, me included. Okay, so I've done that. Okay, so maybe you already do gratitude every single day, right? So you don't need to add that because you already do it, but think about what you need to add. So social self-care. Ooh. Well, I am part of the Resilient Rebels, so I think I'm pretty set up. Yeah, I really like having a weekly coffee date with fellow teachers. I don't think maybe I can do that weekly, but maybe monthly for me. I can try and get together with some of my people, and that is orange. So maybe Wednesday night, I will say coffee dates. Okay. I'm going to make a coffee date with some of my friends there, hopefully. Intellectual self-care for me. I really want to start a book club on Resilient Rebels. I love reading books and I love learning like that. And I am, because I'm going to be talking about innovation and different teaching strategies next, coming March, so in a week or two. I need to dive into that. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. So I feel like that's just going to be a thing for me. So for spiritual self-care, that's sort of purple. Okay, purple. So I'm going to say on each weekend that I get out into nature because we like to go on hikes. Okay, done. Okay, professional self-care. So setting some boundaries. I've already done that with my edu boundaries. This year I started before the year began with my my course that I'm offering about setting up self-care and edu boundaries before the year even begins. So I'm pretty good about boundaries, and my startup and shutdown routines are pretty good. I definitely need to take more breaks throughout the day. I'm definitely working during the day on my breaks all the time. So I'm going to, it's yellow. So I'm going to schedule, so I scheduled already short walks on Thursday. So maybe I'm going to do on Tuesdays, I'm going to do breaks. So that I make sure that I'm taking a break. Okay. Done that. Environmental is light blue. Create a common classroom environment with soft lighting, comfortable seating, and inspiring decor. I've already really done that. I definitely need to clean my digital files. Yeah, so I'm going to, should be something I do soon. So maybe the Friday, so it's light blue. So I'm going to spend time on the first organizing digital files. Okay. So financial, green for that Monday. Seek out grants. So I think I'm going to write, I'm really interested in looking into grants and trying to come up with a really cool collaborative cross-curricular projects. So I'm going to look into grants that are possible and figure out how the heck to write them, because I have written some, but we didn't get them. So obviously I need some help. So maybe I will write that on Monday, maybe grants. So I'm going to write it for 2 Mondays so that I can focus on that. Cool. So now we are done all of the 8 kinds. So if you look at my March calendar, how do I do this? Okay. So you can see that all the different colors are there. I have things on a lot of days. And I'm making sure that I'm hitting all my different self-care. So hopefully that helped you sort of learn a little bit more about all the different kinds of self-care, and scheduling it in, I think, helps us sort of figure that out. You may want to have a self-care calendar in your Google Calendar, and then you can add this sort of stuff and make sure that you're doing it. You can also make something a task so that when you miss it, it will continually remind you. I need that a lot. Anyway, I hope this really, really helped you. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to ask or further things you are curious about. I'd love to know. One thing I want to remind you about is the Resilient Rebels community that I'm starting. I think, again, this is such an important time for us to really stick together and to support each other and to know that we're not alone and to start advocating for better for all of us. So if you want to join the Facebook community, I will put it in the description of this video. Also, if you have any great books, podcasts, videos, courses, blah, 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 TikTok creators, like whatever you can think of about resilience, about self-care for educators, about, anything about resilience and staying our best, if it's just like about meditation or whatever, please put the link in below, and I'm going to put all of that information that we compile into our Resilient Rebels website. Sorry. So that we can really crowdsource this, because I'm only one person. I read a lot, but I don't have all the answers, and I really want this to be a community. Anyway, so join that Facebook group. Let me know if you have any other questions, anything else you'd like to learn about on this topic. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped. Have a great night. Bye.